Hey everyone, I wanted to make this video to talk about the gear progressions after level 100 and how to uh, know which gears to swap and which one is better and stuff like that, right? So let me get started with my helm. So I recently found this new helm with the total armor roll, and this is my old helm. So if you look at the two of them, um, yeah, you basically I basically took out that all stats and yeah, took it in as a total armor. And I do have more max fury rolled on it, so yeah, it's definitely better gear. And of course, you have to look at the armor count as well, and it's 1024 armor versus 980, so definitely better gear. So that's why I swapped them out. Um, so next one, I recently found this one. Let's compare it with my old gear. Yeah, so my old gear used to have rallying cry imprinted on it, and I mean, as much as that helps in the end game and in PvP and like really high level nightmare dungeons, it's all about the level of challenging shouts. Like, because this damage reduction, basically it reduces damage on top of all these damage calculations on like damage reduction while fortified and stuff like that, right? Close enemy damage reduction, like all these, like after getting calculated, this gets calculated on top of that. So like level of challenging shout is one of the most essential thing as a barbarian late game. So yeah, my old gear used to not have any challenging shout. Instead, it had a rallying cry, so it was a clear choice for me to swap it out. I mean, I would like to have um, damage reduction while fortified on it as well, instead of from enemies that are bleeding. But you know, hey, I got what I got, and I proc bleed as well with bleed imprints. So yeah, I mean, this was I mean, yeah, this is a decent roll. I feel like, you know, almost end game. It could do better in one option, but yeah, that's basically why I swapped it out. In terms of gloves, I swapped it out for this one. This is my old gloves. So if you look at it, it's clearly better because of the lucky hit chance. So if you get more lucky hit chance, you basically get more chances of you stunning the enemy because of the Barbarian passive that I took. So yeah, it's like this is basically as good as it gets. You want max crit chance, max attack speed, and max lucky hit chance, and max hammer level, which is 4. So that's why I swapped it out. Next, we have my pants. So this one, I would like to get total armor roll to the max, but if you compare it with my old gear, yeah, it's definitely better in a sense that my old gear used to have like this useless 478 maximum life, but it didn't really help out, right? Instead, I would much rather have 62 strength instead of the max life, because yeah, strength is one of like the most key stats as a barbarian. Um, yeah, and all the good stuff on top of that. So I basically wanted to swap that useless maximum life out for more convenience stats, and of course it's got way more armor as well, and level of item power. So yeah, I swapped it out. For my shoes, it's staying the same. I really like this one because of the evade granting 75% movement speed. I mean, I could swap it out with this one. I did almost think about swapping it because it does grant me a lot more strength when I fully upgrade it, and a little bit of more movement speed. But like the effect it has, attacks reduce evade cooldown by 1.1 seconds. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for evade grants 75% movement speed for 1 second. That's like a huge option in PvP because it grants you like burst movement speed that you can get away from enemies. You can chase people down. Like, yeah, it's a really important option, I feel like. So I didn't want to swap it out. In terms of my weapon, I swapped it out with my old weapon, which was this one, mainly because of I wanted to swap out that 189 strength for like 70% damage to close enemy, and also the vulnerable damage and the crit damage was not that good of a roll on my old gear, but my new gear, yeah, it's got like a max roll of crit damage and vulnerable damage, so it was a clear choice for me. I mean, 189 strength is great. It grants you armor as well, but it's only about like 19% damage in terms of damage increase. Yeah, I would much rather take 70% damage to close. Yeah, it was just a matter of the max roll or not. Yeah, in terms of my side weapons, or yeah, my swords, some people are suggesting like axes were better. Why are swords better? It's because of these original options it comes from it grants you more critical damage instead of what does Axe have? Axe has like damage to healthy enemies. Healthy enemies only count for enemies who have more than 70% health, and once they have below that health, you cannot benefit from this damage bonus anymore. So I would much rather have more critical strike damage, and critical strike damage, it basically multiplies with other damages, so it's one of the most important stats. Like I said, it's critical damage and vulnerable damage that you're looking for to stack. So yeah, I used to use these axes when I didn't really know about all these mechanics, but now, yeah, I would never use this kind of stuff. Yeah, like I would much rather have swords instead of axes. Yeah, I even rolls on it too. Like I think I like the sword better. I mean, it could do better on the critical strike damage, but yeah, they're both decent enough rolls. Yeah, my two-handed sword, I didn't really swap because this is basically as good as it gets for HotA build. I mean, it could do better on the vulnerable damage and stuff like that, but yeah, it's basically maxed out. In terms of my rings, this one stayed the same because yeah, it could do better in terms of resource generation, but yeah, that's a really decent roll. Almost maxed out on all categories, all essential stats, vulnerable damage, critical strike damage, and stuff like that. Next one I swapped with my old ring, which used to have a life on it. So if you compare it with my current one, yeah, so I swapped a life for Max Fury, like maxed out Max Fury, and that's very, very important because HotA gets extra damage bonus from having more Fury. So if I have 195 Fury, like I do currently, you basically get, if you have full Fury, you get basically 195% damage bonus. If you read it, yeah, Hammer of an Ancient deals 1% additional damage for each point of Fury you have while you're using it. So yeah, life stat, not really important. Much rather have Max Fury instead of the maximum life. And of course, vulnerable damage helps a lot better than the damage to close enemies. So it was a clear choice for me to swap it out. And also, by the way, guys, I bought this from a jewelry store. Like I literally bought it from a merchant in the game. So you guys should always check the rings. I mean, this was almost a godly roll. If I get max roll in the crit chance, I would be like a godly ring, end game ring. You could call it like a graduation ring. That's what Koreans call it. If you get like the end game items that you no longer need to swap, it's a graduation item. It's almost a graduation item if I had a max roll on crit chance. So it's a decent ring. I really liked it. I only found it yesterday. For next one, yeah, this was almost a godly amulet too. I got it from a merchant too. So I'm telling you guys, check the merchants. They sell really decent gear sometimes. Yeah, if this had a three ranks of all defensive skills instead of the all brawling skills, yeah, this would have been like a graduation item for my barb. But yeah, it could do better on the cooldown reduction and fury reduction. But yeah, the fury cost reduction is really important compared to my old amulet, which had no fury cost reduction. And yeah, it was just really hard to spam out hammers because of I just didn't have enough resource generation plus fury cost reduction. But now I can basically spam hammers. Yeah. So I just wanted to make a quick update on that. In terms of my Paragon points, only difference is that I used to take, at the end of here, I used to take this path, but since I can no longer benefit from these bonus stats, instead I took all these points out, and I just took this one because I could get a full, on my second Paragon board, I took Brute, which gives me 20% physical damage. Yeah, I could fully benefit from it because of the bonus stats that I fulfill. So yeah, my Paragon basically stayed the same. It started here, and then yeah, not much change. In terms of skills, not much change. Yeah, I still use swiftness. I really like the movement speed in PvP, and basically stay the same. Yeah, like you want all three of these here. Really important. Unbreakable Rage. Yeah, so I wanted to make this video, guys, and thank you. Talk to you guys later. Bye.